So, welcome to the flagship event of AuthorAID, Tea Time with AuthorAID. Here, we'll grab our favorite cup of tea and with join in the conversation with scholars from all around the world and talk about certain topic. Today, we have the thematic topic is the roles of AI in scholarly writing, and for this, we have Dr. Farooq Rathore to host the event. We're very pleased to have him and a huge gratitude to him for hosting the event. To introduce him, he is a consultant and associate professor in rehabilitation medicine at the Armed Forces Institute of Rehabilitation Medicine, Pakistan. He describes himself as a rehabilitation physician, learner, teacher, and a mentor. He has more than 200 publications with 2,800 citations. He is the national representative of Pakistan for the International Society of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation and Asia Oceanian Society of PMR and advisory board member of Cochrane Rehabilitation. His areas of interest and research are spinal cord injuries, stroke rehabilitation, amputee management, disaster rehabilitation, medical education, and bioethics. Today, we'll be discussing about the roles of AI in scholarly writing, hosted by him. And before we get into the program, I would like to request all of you to mute yourself if you are not talking. This is a very informal environment where we discuss. So I would like to request you to participate to the fullest, extend your network, and learn from each other. With this, I'd like to hand over the session to Dr. Farooq.
Thank you very much. Good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are attending this session. Again, can I request everyone to please mute their mics so that I can proceed? So what we're going to do is sort of this informal session, but still, the topic was interesting and many of my colleagues, they actually called me up and they said, probably it would be nice if you have sort of presentation and then sort of discussion. So I have actually made a presentation, and if we get time, actually, I'm going to give you a demonstration of a couple of tools that I have used in the past, and I would like you to explore as well, and we'll move forward, right? So just give me a second, and can you please confirm that you can see my screen? So simply write yes in the chat box. If you can see my screen, simply write yes in the chat box. Thank you. Fantastic. So most of you can see it. So as you know, we are living in the world of the times of ChatGPT. So we are going to discuss the use of artificial intelligence in the scholarly writing. So again, before I start, a couple of disclaimers. First of all, please remember, this is an informal session, and whatever I say and whatever I express and whatever I discuss with you guys is based on my own personal experience and views of working in a particular setup, in a particular background in one country, right? I do have international collaboration, but then I'm based and I work in Pakistan. I am not representing AuthorAID official policy or my organizational policies. That's the first thing. Secondly, we only have 1 hour, that is 60 minutes at our disposal. So it is not possible for me to cover all aspects and all tools of artificial intelligence that are available in scholarly writing. Number 3, I will give you a couple of examples, both live example and screenshots. If I share a particular tool, that is not an endorsement that that tool is the best out there or that is the tool you need to use. You might be using a different tool. I'm okay with that. And I would love to hear from your own experience. I also need to declare that my background is medical background. So I'm an active practicing clinician, physician. So I have been writing articles mostly on medical topics. So I might not be very updated in social sciences, agricultural sciences, or computer sciences. So if you are from that background and if you can add to the discussion, I would love to hear your thoughts. And the most important thing is this is an informal session where we are going to share experiences, we are going to educate each other, and we are going to learn from each other. And most definitely with this diverse background of 50 people, I will not have answers to all questions, but I'm okay with that. Can you please mute your mics so that we can proceed? So how this interaction is going to go on, I'm pretty sure that most of you are already well versed how to do a Zoom meeting and how to interact in an online interactive environment. Still, there are a couple of things I would like you to consider. First of all, it would be great if only one person can speak at one time. So that's why please keep your mics on mute. If you want to say something, you want to say it aloud to the whole group. So please raise the virtual hand if you want to speak or answer a particular question that I'm going to pose. Then please use the chat box. And if you want to ask a question, since there are going to be a lot many comments and it would be pretty difficult to follow all the comments. So please write question as a prefix in case you want to ask a question instead of simply doing a comment or an answer. And if you have contributed once to the discussion, I would request you to please let others speak first before you can speak again. Because again, 1 hour, more than like 50 participants, not everyone is going to get a chance to speak again. So the first question, do you people see a role for the use of artificial intelligence in scholarly writing? I would like you to please answer in the chat box, and there are 3 options: yes, no, or I am not sure. Do you see a role for the use of scholarly AI in the scholarly writing? Okay, not sure. Yes, 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 yes. So most of you say yes. Fantastic. Excellent, excellent. Sure. Okay. Have you yourself used artificial intelligence in the scholarly writing in the past? Again, yes, no, or I am not sure. Yes, no, no, no. Okay, okay, okay. So mixed sort of like yes, no, yes, no. Fantastic. This is how it works. Now, please answer this question. Has any one of you used any of the following, maybe Grammarly and other language enhancement software or websites, maybe like ProWrite or maybe like Trinka, any reference management software? And there are so many out there. The top 3 are maybe EndNote, Zotero, and Mendeley. And then there are many good paraphrasing tools out there. Quillbot is one of the topmost. And has any one of you used the Google Doc or Microsoft Office? Anyone? So fantastic. Okay. Mendeley, yes. So almost, I'm pretty sure if you are into writing, scholarly writing in any subject, or you are a teacher, or you write a dissertation, you conduct research, or you do thesis, I'm pretty sure you must have used any of the following. For example, Microsoft Office is mostly the default writing tool for most of us, right? So let me tell you, if you have used any of the following tools, all of these tools actually integrate artificial intelligence in their algorithms in one form or the other. So this means that many of you are actually using some form of artificial intelligence in writing, in scholarly writing, in producing content for the last so many years. This is the first thing you need to understand. The hype came in when this chat GPT was launched in November 2022 last year. And then there were more than 100 million users in less than 30 days. It is one of the most sort of sought after tool in the history of the world. Not even like the Instagram or maybe Facebook or any other tool could actually match this. So people think that they have not been using AI in scholarly writing, but the matter of fact is that all of us have been using AI in some form in scholarly writing, and we are going to discuss in detail. So moving on, starting off again, please do not Google it out. Just like, what is your understanding of artificial intelligence? Please don't Google it out. Just simply write in the chat box whatever is your understanding of this word artificial intelligence. Algorithms, okay. Anything else? So Madhya Siddiqui says chat GPT is, yeah, it's AI. Yeah, okay. Chat GPT, okay. A robot, okay. Okay, robots. Right, Sonic? Yeah, these are examples. But what is artificial intelligence? I'm not asking about examples. I'm sure many of you have used those. But what is artificial intelligence in your understanding? Giving some of our work to robots, okay. Digital and machine learning, FARWA. Machine with human-like thinking, good. Use of human-trained computer, excellent. Use of computer algorithm to predict further, excellent. Miss Afifa Tabassum, excellent. Yeah. Anything else? I'm going to move forward. Machine doing human work. Okay, so this word machine, robot comes up again and again. So again, I'm an old timer. I was born a couple of decades ago. So, in my times, whenever you use the word artificial intelligence, so this was my first exposure to artificial intelligence. So I'm pretty sure many of you have seen these movies, Terminator. The first one probably came in 1984 when we were kids. And, like the person comes from the future and he tries to kill the heroine of the movie. So this was based on a concept that artificial intelligence has actually evolved to an extent that it has overtaken the world and it has overtaken the humans. And you would see many people, like blowing horns that, AI is going to take away my job and AI is going to like replace us. So long answer short, no, it's not going to do that. So this is what artificial intelligence looks like. And one disclaimer, I actually asked ChatGPT to create two different simple definitions of artificial intelligence. And this is what ChatGPT defines artificial intelligence as. I have highlighted the important aspects in bold and underlined them. So you can say that artificial intelligence is simulation of human intelligence in machines that are programmed to think and learn like humans. That's the first thing. It could include tasks like speech recognition. So many of you have been using speech recognition softwares. Many of you use like Siri and, like this Cortana in Microsoft and so many other things. This is all artificial intelligence. Problem solving and decision making. Another very simple, interesting definition of artificial intelligence is that AI is a branch of computer science that focuses on creating intelligent machines that can perform tasks without explicit instructions using algorithms that learn and adapt from data. So this is the most important thing about artificial intelligence. They can process a huge amount of data that is nearly impossible for a single human being to process. So for example, if you talk of like in my field, medical science, so people are now analyzing large scale data, what they call big data. For example, 5 million patients from, let's say, 25 different countries of the world. It is not possible for a single person or even a group of person to analyze that kind of data, to generate patterns, and then to make meaning out of that. So please remember, it's not about something replacing us. It is we working with the machines that we are creating. So, this machine is going to learn and adapt. And, that's why a human input and a human insight is going to be always very, very important in this kind of human-machine interaction. So before I move forward, because I was working around this topic, so I thought, I need to give you a brief history of AI in scholarly writing. And while I was doing that, honestly speaking, I was amazed to see that, this AI is not something that came up in 21st century or maybe like in 2001. This thing has been going on in computer labs for more than 6 decades. And I was able to sort of like trace out the background history. So machine translation came in 1960s and 50s. The reference management softwares, they came out in 1980s, and EndNote, which is actually based on an AI algorithm and has evolved to a larger extent, was first of all launched in 1988. And I'm sure that many of my audience were not even born in 1988 when this EndNote based on an AI algorithm was launched. Then, in 1990s, the computer scientists, they started exploring the use of NLP, what we call a natural language processing. And they, first of all, they started generating summary of research. Can I request my colleague to please, can I request you to please turn off your mic? Thank you. So paper digest system was the first that was used to automatically generate summaries of research article, but this was basically limited to computer science and related subjects. In year 2000, CiteSeer and other like algorithm and machine learning system, they started classifying research article by topic, author, and other attributes. Now, many of my colleagues who do literature search in 2023, they might say, what's the big deal? But you need to understand there's a long history of use of AI in scholarly writing. So things that we take for granted nowadays, actually they started like a very simple things many decades ago. Then in 2010, AI was used to automate the process of generating text. And you might have heard, when Scigen generated a couple of articles, and those articles were actually sent to predatory journals. Predatory journals are basically bogus journals, which are not the right kind of journal where you would like to submit your article. And these bogus articles were accepted in those predatory journals. But this was an exercise which actually showed that AI can be used to generate new text by combining the text that has been fed to it in form of different tokens. And now comes 2023, here where we are living in the era of ChatGPT. And this is from yesterday. More than 200 books in Amazon bookstore have ChatGPT listed as an author or co-author. So this is where the world is moving. So whether you like AI or not, whether you want to integrate AI in your scholarly writing or not, I mean, the world is moving in that direction. So you need to move with the world or you will become extinct like dinosaur. You need to understand that. And the next cover of Time magazine, one of the most influential magazine in the world, which features only like high events or people who have made a difference in the world. So the next issue of Times, which is going to be launched on February 27th, they are going to have ChatGPT chat featured on their main cover. So the times are changing and you need to move with the changing times. So again, now coming to our chit chat. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you questions and I'm going to get answers from you. I would like to listen to your perspectives, and then I'm going to give you my perspective. So the first question that I'm going to pose to my colleagues here are, what do you think, or what in your opinion are the potential benefits of using artificial intelligence in scholarly writing? So this is how it's going to move. That I would request you to please raise your virtual hand if you want to talk, or you want to like answer live, or if you want to write that in the chat, I'm okay with that. So the first question is, what are the potential benefits of using AI in scholarly writing? And I would request, please restrict your answer to less than 30 seconds and only tell us one benefit. Dr. Aisha, you can go first, please.
Assalamu alaikum. It will make the literature search precise and will save us the time.
Excellent. So Dr. Aisha says it would make the literature search precise and would save us time. Many people have written something in the chat. I need to go through that. Just give me a second. Okay, saves time, precision. Okay. Fortune, can you say something? Yeah, please go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. I think one of the benefits of AI to like ChatGPT is that it gives access to literature materials that might otherwise be that might not be free for researchers in LMICs.
Okay, so you say it might help you go through the paywalls where we cannot access things otherwise. Exactly. Okay, we'll talk about that. Thank you very much. So there are a lot of things coming up in the chat. Develop and extend research ideas, in-depth content. It's free. Yeah, some AI softwares are free, but other will cost you something. Yeah, it gives one direction on what is expected in research work. Thus, it serves as research assistant. Excellent point. Grammatical error, free publication, not free publication, but yes, it has the potential to reduce the grammatical error. And it is one of the things that I would strongly recommend all of you to please explore. Okay, save you time, literature search, organizing, referencing. Fantastic, excellent. Thank you very much. We are going to do some live session on this as well if time allows. Okay, so anyone else who would like to answer live? I cannot see any hand. Or okay, I'm going to go back to my presentation and I'm going to give you my perspective. So first of all, just let me know or tell me, in your opinion, what are the major steps involved in publishing a scholarly manuscript? Any subject or any field, whether computer science or maybe agricultural science or medical science. So what are the important steps involved in publishing a scholarly manuscript? Anyone who want to say it aloud or maybe write in the chat box? Ramin, can you say something? Yeah, please go ahead. Ramin, you're muted.
Hello.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, you can see. Yeah, please go ahead, please. Thank you.
The steps I want to share my view on is that you go through all the processes in preparing the manuscript.
Yep.
And making sure that the manuscript fall in line with the structure of a manuscript. And some also are saying that you even have to go look for a journal that you think will publish your material, and then you prepare your manuscript to fall in line with the submission requirements.
Yes,
and the
excellent.
And then if you're able to do that, then you can conveniently or successfully submit your manuscript to that journal.
Excellent.
Considered.
Yeah, thank you very much for your perspective and a good summary. Thank you very much. So Ramin, can you say something? Ramin, you have raised your hand. Would you like to say something? Okay, Dr. Mrs. Salisu, can you say something? You raised your hand, please?
Thank you very much. The very first step is to read the author's guidelines for the particular journal of interest. I think that will guide the manuscript preparation.
Okay. Thank you very much for your perspective. So you focus on author guidelines. I like that. So just let me go back to my slides. Oops, where was I? Just give me a second, guys. Yeah. So if you want me to summarize, I would say this is the procedure of writing a research article. You do literature search, you read the articles, you get some ideas, you start working on that particular ideas. Sometimes you have to create new questionnaire. Sometimes you used already used questionnaire. You have to create or maybe determine the data collection tools. Then you have to do the actual data collection, which could be in person, which could be maybe online. It could be like from patients. It could be from other things. Then you have to do the data analysis, and then comes the main process of the writing. And writing includes improving your language, the grammar, the syntax, how to do the referencing, the citation, stuff like that. Formatting of the manuscript, following certain guidelines, as my colleague has mentioned. And obviously, then comes the pretty difficult step of how to select a particular journal. So let me tell you that the use of artificial intelligence has penetrated each of these steps. And there are tools available out there which can actually help you facilitate each step of this process of publishing a scholarly manuscript in an ethical and transparent way. So if you want to increase your research productivity, probably it's a good idea to explore different AI tools that are available to you in each step of publishing a scholarly manuscript. Obviously, I can't go in detail of each of these tools in this limited time, but I would like to leave you with at least like that burning desire that you are going to go online and explore these AI tools which can help you in each step of publishing a scholarly manuscript. So again, if you ask me what could be a possible benefit of integrating artificial intelligence in your writing, first of all, better language and grammar use. And I'm assuming that like most of my participants of this tea time, like me, they are non-English speaking people. Their first language is not English, and like me, probably they have or they are still struggling with improving the language quality of their manuscript, which is sometimes very challenging, honestly speaking. But if you use and integrate artificial intelligence tools in your writing in an ethical way, it can actually help you improve the language, grammar, and syntax of your article. And probably if time allows, I'm going to give you a quick example as well. Number two, it improves your, can you please, mute your mic? Thank you. Use of artificial intelligence tools, again, like reference management softwares, it would increase the accuracy in citing your sources, and the formatting would be accurate and as per the instruction to author. And many a time, once you have to change the whole format. So for example, you submitted your article to one journal, it was rejected, no big deal. You should be submitting it to another journal. But the first journal asks you to submit it in the Vancouver format. And now the next journal is asking you to do the Harvard style. How would you convert 50 citations from Vancouver to Harvard style? If you are using a reference management software, it would actually take you less than a minute. So this is the power of integrating AI in your scholarly writing. Moving forward, you can do better and quicker literature search if you use AI-based literature search tools. Again, I'm going to give you a quick example if time allows. You can improve organizational research finding, and this is possible on multiple websites, both on Medline, PubMed, which is the most famous for medical researchers, and also on Mendeley and EndNote. We all have been using different tools for data analysis. Imagine a couple of decades back, and maybe a century ago, people were actually using all those mathematical formula, statistical formula to calculate data. It is not possible to apply the same techniques that our senior colleagues many decades back used. We are dealing with large amount of data. And in order to improve our quality, we can use these automated softwares. Ultimately, if you integrate artificial intelligence in your writing, it's going to lead to better research quality and improve research productivity. So moving forward, can you give me some specific example of how AI is currently being used in scholarly writing? Very specific example. Anyone? Yeah. Again, you can raise your hand, or you can probably write down in the chat box. And then probably I'm going to, okay. Farjad, can you give an example?
Yes,
One,
thank you very
yeah,
much,
one
sir.
example, please.
My name is Dr. Farjad. I'm working in Sargodha Medical College. Nowadays, Chat GPT is very much used in writing, scholarly writing.
Okay,
I
okay.
think
Apart from Chat GPT, can you tell us about another software or some tool that you have used or you would recommend in scholarly writing? Apart from Chat GPT, we'll talk about Chat GPT later on.
yes,
Any
yes.
other tool? Any other tool? Dr. Aisha, can you say something?
EndNote.
EndNote, yeah, that's fine. EndNote, fantastic, excellent. Anyone? Okay, so I need to go back to the chat. Just give me a second. Okay. Grammarly, yeah. Reference checking, find my journal. Excellent. Yeah. Journal finder, fantastic. Jane, journal author name estimator, fantastic. Excellent. So you guys actually are using this for a couple of reasons. Okay. Let me give you some quick examples. So there are language and grammar checkers, and probably Grammarly is one of the most commonly being used out there. The other is Trinka, but please remember there are many other language and grammar checkers available out there. Then there are bibliography managers, again, EndNote, Zotero, and Mendeley. Plagiarism is a major issue. Sometimes people do it intentionally, but most of the time it is done unintentionally. People don't know how to paraphrase. People don't know how to quote and cite, and sometimes they are marked as similarity index or plagiarism checker. There are many available out there. People mostly talk about Authenticate and Turnitin, but you need to understand there are other plagiarism checkers available as well. Then there are certain tools for automated summarization and paraphrasing as well. This is sort of a gray zone because some journals and some scholars would not allow you to use a tool to paraphrase a text, but other people do that. We'll discuss that later on. And then the journal selection tool. So just give me a second. I'm assuming that all of you have used are using or have used this Microsoft Office, right? Just simply write yes in the chat box if you have used Microsoft Office to create a manuscript or to write a thesis or something like that. Almost everyone. How many of you are actively using or have used the Microsoft editor while editing your manuscript or your thesis? Microsoft editor. No. Okay. So just give me a second. I think this is because Microsoft Office is being used all around the globe and each one of you has used that. So probably you are not exploring the actual power of the artificial intelligence integrated in Microsoft Office. So give me a second and probably I'll stop my presentation and I'll give you a quick demonstration of how you can adequately use this Microsoft Office in your writing. Just give me a second. Yeah, so I need to open up. Just give me a second. This is important. So I will do a demo for you guys. Just give me a second. Just, yeah. Almost there, yeah. Okay, yeah. So just share screen. Yeah. So guys, please confirm if you can see this the screen. Yeah, if you can see this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So okay. So if you have the official version, and I would strongly recommend all of you to please buy the official version. So where you go here, this review, the review panel, if you can see this. In one corner, there is this thing, the blue icon on left upper corner known as editor. You click it and look at this. Oh, sorry. I actually have already corrected it. So this would give you an editor score. And as you can see, it helps you in improving the quality of your writing. You can tell this, this AI integrated editor of Microsoft Office that whether you would like a formal tone, you want a professional tone, it clearly writes best for general business communication, or you want to write a casual tone for maybe a casual sort of like a blog post and stuff like that. You can tell it that whether you are using the language, if you can see in the left down corner, English United States, or it could be maybe you can go down and you can say like, okay, so we have English, Australian English, Canadian English, Hong Kong English, Indian, Indonesia, Ireland, Jamaica, Malaysia, you just name it. This is all based on AI. It would help you in improving your spellings. It would correct it one by one. It can help you in improve your small things in grammar that can actually make a lot of difference. You know, like it gives you all options. It would help you in improving the clarity, conciseness, formality, and even punctuations. So many a time, it's very difficult for one person, a human eye, to see every punctuation in a 3,000 word manuscript. Very difficult. And you would tend to miss all these things. So why to spend and waste your time in pointing out these small mistakes of punctuation, comma, and full stop? Why not to make the best use of AI software to do that work for you? So I would simply click it like occupation. It goes elbow, yeah, knee. So in less than 3 seconds, I actually corrected all the punctuation in my manuscript. So this is how it also checks your manuscript or your writing using the authenticate and Turnitin for similarity index. And this is what I like the most important, the document statistics. Just give me a second. Probably it would take a minute or so. Yeah, look at this. So it gives you a whole summary of the readability statistics. Why this is important? Please remember, again, like me, most of you are non-English speaking people. So whenever we write, we think that writing in very complex jargon English would be very cool. Remember, good English is simple English. Good international journals, at least in medical science, would publish articles that are in simple English. So how would I know that my English is simple enough or not? Is it hitting the right target or not? So look at this. It gives you the readability index, the flash reading ease, and the grade level. Then, it is said that usually you should be using active voice. This would actually scan the whole manuscript and would tell you that how many of the sentences are in passive language. So you might want to change that. And this thing is actually integrated and available in your simple Microsoft Office. So please, go back and start exploring this editor. And I can tell you that the quality of your writing is going to get better, hopefully. Yeah. So again, going back, and let me give you a couple of more examples. Yeah. So live examples, just give me a second. So why I can't see my where do we get the MS editor is integrated. Sorry. Can you please mute yourself? No. Okay. I just saw a question. I would like to answer this. Which MS? I am using this Office 365. Office 365 is available for personal subscription as well as both for family subscription. So if you are shorter of money, I would request that you all 5 of your colleagues, they get together and they pool in resources, and you would actually get the Office 365, the full version with all functions and 1 terabyte of space of Microsoft Drive each, and multiple functionalities that would enhance your research productivity, your PowerPoint presentations, your Excel sheets, and so many other things, right? So please explore that. So Office 365 has all these things integrated inside the latest version. Another example of an AI integrated tool. Can you guys please say the Semantic Scholar? Can you guys see this? Okay, yes, okay. So this is a literature search engine. It is known as Semantic Scholar, right? Semantic Scholar. It is free, and it is totally artificial intelligence powered research tool for scientific literature. It is not specific to medical science, so anyone from any background can actually and must use this Semantic Scholar. So what is the advantage of Semantic Scholar? I'll quickly tell you. Spinal. So my keyword is spinal cord injury. Okay. So look at this. So again, this is how it makes your life easier, the artificial intelligence. So there was a time that, when I was a medical student, even a resident, I actually used to go to libraries And now I know people who have never been to a library. They don't even know how to go to a library and get a book issued and what it means to sit in a library and copy so many things. So again, there are more than 0.4 million results for spinal cord injury. You can organize it by field of study, the date range, whether that article is available in PDF or not, whether it is an article from journals or from medical conferences, by relevance, influential paper, citation count. And this is what I love the most about this semantic scholar. You click this one. So look at this. Look at this right corner. It would tell you how many citations it has received and how many of them are highly influential citations. Number one, how many of the article actually cite or quote its methodology. And the most important thing that I love is many a times when you have to use a particular picture or a graph from an article, you have to read the whole article, you have to download the article and then see the picture. But this AI-based search engine actually extracts all the figures and tables from a particular article and displays them. So even without even reading and downloading the whole article, I can go through and I can see whether these figures are of use to me or not. It would give you a detail of how many citations that article has received and the detailed link of those articles. It would actually give you a detailed link of the references that have been used in that particular article. And you can actually click those references and then you can move forward. So, you are like making connections. This is not humanly possible for a single person to explore hundreds of citations and articles and references and related paper and then make sense out of it. Not possible. You have to use a machine. You have to use an algorithm. You have to use AI. And then it also gives you an idea about the related paper to this particular article. So this is again only one example of an artificial intelligence-based literature review service. So please go online and explore semanticscholar.ai. Fantastic and excellent. Okay, now we are going to move again to our presentation. Where was I? Yeah. Again, please mute yourself. Thank you. Please mute yourself. Okay, so the question is, does it separate figures for articles that are not open access? Unfortunately, so far what I have seen, it only opens up the articles which are open access. So yes, it does not separate articles which are not open access. So moving forward again to my presentation. Where was I? Sorry. Okay. Semantic Scholar. Have you guys heard of this literature mapping? Anyone knows what is literature mapping? Anyone knows what is literature mapping, or anyone who has used this literature mapping in their research? Okay. Anyone else? Nimra says no, no problem. Literature mapping, anyone? Nope. Okay. One more and then I'll move forward. No, okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. No problem. No problem. So again, because lack of time, I'm going to leave you with more questions than answers, and I would like to ignite your curiosity. So literature mapping is a very good sort of skill that you should develop if you are a researcher and you are into article writing. So basically literature mapping, as the word says, mapping, you map out something. It's one of the ways of discovering scholarly article by exploring the connection between different publications. Please remember, whenever we say that an article has 10, 20, 30 citation, and that article has now been cited and quoted by, let's say, 20 more, this means there's a connection between different articles. But again, as a human being, it's not possible for me to make all those connections. So here comes to our rescue the AI-based softwares. You might have heard about Cite. Again, one disclaimer, Cite is not free of cost. But again, if you have a helpful supervisor, or maybe you have got resources or a good team, you might want to pool your resources and get a subscription to Cite, a very important and a very powerful tool for literature mapping. The other is Research Rabbit, and Research Rabbit is, good news is, free of cost. Let me give you one example. So you do a small literature search on Research Rabbit, and you get this article, Trauma Spinal Cord Injury from Surgical Clinics of North America, which was published by Hackett and Martin in 2017. This is the art paper you selected. It gives you a sort of a summary, the abstract. It gives you that there's no PDF available. And this is how you explore similar work, references, and citations. You move forward, and now it has made a map for you. You can, I'm sorry, I can't do a live demo because of lack of time, but you click on each of these bubbles, and the bubbles are going to expand. And you're going to get an idea how one article is connected to another article. And sometimes this is how we actually learn that, this researcher has published 5 articles in the last 5 years. How do these 5 articles connect with each other, or don't they connect? This group has been publishing these kind of articles on this topic for the last so many years. So how does these articles connect to the other articles that have already been published? So this literature mapping exercise, which can be done manually, it has been made very, very easy by the use of these AI-based software. So the site, this Research Rabbit, and also connected papers. Again, there are many other options available. I would like you to go online and explore these. Then coming to the online journal selection tools, someone mentioned that, yes. So one of the specific example where you can integrate AI into this journal selection is actually by using certain websites. So can someone tell me what is their favorite website, or have they used these websites in the past, or can they write it in the chat box? Journal selection website. What is the one that you have used? Jane, yeah. Ramin said Jane. So Jane stands for Journal Author Name Estimator. Yeah. She says, what is the last website of mapping literature? I will share this whole presentation with you. You can simply email me, so don't worry about the slides. Jane, okay. Apart from Jane, anyone else? Anyone else? Journal Finder, yeah, good. Thank you. Anyone else who has been using these websites, AI-based websites? Journal Finder? No, Farjad, yeah. So Science Direct is basically sort of a scientific database, but yes, they do have a section where they would help you to to select journals. Yeah. Connected Paper, Elsevier, Journal Finder, yeah. Springer, excellent. Thank you very much. You guys know a lot. Fantastic. So I'm going to quickly move for go on. Okay. So I would recommend this manuscript matcher by Cleverate. Why do I say this one is important? Because please remember, Cleverate is from the Web of Science group, and this is the same group that actually gives impact factor to the journals. So it is pretty extensive. And again, can you please, Dr. Rhoda, can you please mute your mic? Thank you. So as you can see, sorry. So whenever you put in an article a title, or maybe some keywords or an abstract, it will give you a couple of options. And then you can actually narrow down those options based on the fact that whether that journal is indexed in Web of Science, whether it is open access or not, to which category does it belong, from which region it is published. So many options available. So these things were not available a couple of years back, but the use and integration of AI has made it easy for us to explore all these things. So please go online and explore all these things. Someone mentioned Journal Selector. Yes, this is from Edens, more than 28,000 journals, and they would mix and match and find the best journal that is most appropriate for your particular research. Find My Journal, and this is Jane from Biosemantics. So moving forward, yeah. So plagiarism detection software, not going to go in detail. There are a lot many available out there, and almost all of them have integrated AI in their algorithms. So the most commonly used are Turnitin and iAuthenticate. Then you can use Grammarly, Viper, Attributor. Some of them are they require a subscription, and some of them are free. The only issue with the free ones is that the free ones will not will not be very extensive. That's the first thing, and the second thing, they have a limit on the word count. So if you have a 10,000 word article or a dissertation or a thesis, then you might have to break it down in 1,000 word chunks in order to get the report. But if you have a Turnitin, Grammarly, or iAuthenticate subscription, you can actually scan the whole of thesis in a single go. So please explore that. Now comes the most important thing. 2 questions. What are the potential drawbacks, limitation, or concern? And what are the ethical considerations that should be taken into account when using these tools in scholarly writing? Anyone who would like to answer this? Ethical consideration and possible challenges and potential problems. So anyone who would like to go first, please raise your virtual hand. Oh yeah, Dr. Aisha.
Plagiarism.
Okay, one thing could be plagiarism. Okay. Anyone else? Can other colleagues also contribute and like unmute themselves, raise their virtual hand, and then there are no right or wrong answers. The only thing is that we need to interact with each other. We need to like tell each other, and we need to talk to each other. We can do that virtually as well. Ramin, yeah, please go ahead.
Hello, I would like to share some limitations with which I
Sure.
experienced myself while using the most famous and most hyped tool, ChatGPT. I
Yep.
think that sometimes the information it gives is incorrect. For example, I was
Yeah.
looking for some information and I asked it to mention the most um, uh, important studies regarding regarding a certain research question I had in mind, and then I asked it to give me the DOIs of those articles, but unfortunately the DOIs I got were incorrect, and the titles
Yes.
did not match what I demanded. And secondly, sometimes I think that it's not very useful. For example, I asked ChatGPT to tell me about some journals that I could send my manuscript for that were free of cost and did not charge any article processing charges. But again, I could not get my desired information. So I think these are the limitations which I experienced myself.
Thank you very much for sharing your. So you say, so basically there are two issues that you have highlighted, that you might not get the information you are seeking. That's the first thing. And the information that you get might be incorrect information or outdated information. Thank you very much. So Fortune, can you say something?
Yeah, thank you. In addition to what she has said, still concerning ChatGPT, one of the things I've realized is that ChatGPT doesn't have the tone of, many times when you try to use it for scientific writing, it may not have the tone of a scientific paper, and it may not give your voice. As a researcher or as a medical writer, there are medical jargons, and there is a particular style, there's a particular tone that maybe you're expected to follow or that you usually follow. And this is not something that ChatGPT can give you, of course, because it's an artificial intelligence.
Thank you very much for your perspective. Excellent. So Adesina, can you, would you like to say something and share your perspective?
I just want to add my voice to the last speaker that the technicality of each field of civilization may not be taken care of. The technicality of each of the field. And
okay, yeah,
also in some countries, accessibility to this those one that we have to pay for may be a problem.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. So the speaker with the name 1, would you like to say something? The participant with the name 1. Yeah, that's your name. Yeah. It's on the screen, so I can't say other. Okay, going back to the, okay. So can ChatGPT be an author? I'm going to answer that question. Too much of data to process. That's not a bad thing actually, because humans cannot process too much of data, and you have to get help from AI, and that's fine. But this is a very important point. Laziness and over-reliance on AI tools, which can sometimes lead to redundancy. Excellent point. Going to discuss this in detail. AI is not that perfect and not reliable to an extent. It is, however, important that we employ our scholarly writing skill as academics. Thank you very much. Excellent perspective have been shared, and I need to move forward because of lack of time. So again, I'm going to give you my perspective. The first one is the most important ethical concern that has been highlighted in the last couple of weeks is who owns the data, and can ChatGPT and other AI, because we need to move beyond ChatGPT. AI came to the limelight just because ChatGPT, which was launched by the OpenAI California, USA in November, it took the world by storm. But we need to understand that, AI software are many other software available as well, which are being used, and we need to move beyond ChatGPT. So who owns the data, and can an AI software be an author or not? So my question is with my group, that can an AI software like ChatGPT, if it helps you in writing something, can it be considered as a co-author, or should it be listed as a co-author? Only 2 options, yes or no. Chat box, please. Can a AI software or AI tool be a co-author? No, no, no. Why do you say no? Yes, excellent. Okay, yes, yes. Okay, so the house is divided. Can I have someone who can, one person who can sort of like explain why it can be a co-author, and one person to explain why it cannot be a co-author? Yeah, Suman, please.
Yes, the reason why I said it cannot be a co-author is that whatever information I generate from the chat GTP, I ended up rewriting the whole thing. It gives me a guide to the idea. It gives me a guide.
Thank you very much. You are muted. Osman, you're muted. Okay, Dr. Mrs. Salisu, your point of view,
Yes.
please.
Yes, it can be listed as a co-author because it has contributed to the manuscript. And one of the criteria to be a co-author of any paper is either part of conceptualization, contribution to the literature search, and what have you. And all these are already incorporated in AI that has been used in one way or the other to complete the manuscript. So it can be listed as a co-author. That's my view.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So we saw two different perspectives. One said that it can be cannot be a co-author for the reason they mentioned, and the other said that it can be a co-author for the reason she mentioned. Now let's see, like what the world is saying. So this is the standard ICMJ criteria for authorship. Probably all of us know that. International Committee of Medical Journal Authors, substantial contribution, conception, blah, 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 drafting the work, revising it critically. So we need to understand that mostly the artificial intelligence tool would help you only in the first two things. That, they might help you in designing the questionnaire or interpretation of data, analysis of data. That's fine. They are tools. They are not the main thing. As they say, it is not the gun, but the man behind the gun that matters. And yes, an AI-based software like Grammarly, ChatGPT can either generate content or they can revise it critically to improve the language and the grammar quality of the manuscript. But here comes the problem. Final approval of the version to be published and accountability for all aspects of the work. So a couple of months back, there was no such guidance that, whether an AI software can be mentioned as a co-author or not. And you might have heard, many articles were actually published both in mainstream journals as well as preprints in which this ChatGPT was mentioned as a co-author. But now things are becoming increasingly clear. I'll give you a couple of examples. So for example, the Nature, one of the largest publisher of journals, it publishes more than 3,000 journals in different fields. It has clearly mentioned that large LLMs, large language models, such as ChatGPT, do not currently satisfy our authorship criteria because accountability for the work is absent. How would you hold an AI software accountable for if the information is incorrect? How do you punish? You can punish an author by delisting them, by blacklisting them, but can you actually blacklist AI software, which is being used all around the world? So again, Nature says ChatGPT or other LLMs or other AI models cannot be a co-author. And again, Science is one of the top journals in the world, and they publish a large portfolio of journals. So their chief editor, Holden Thorpe, said that, yeah, it's a fantastic editorial. It is available online free of cost. I would request each one of you to please go online and explore this. So he says, and he gives very good arguments that why using ChatGPT is fun for sure, but it cannot be held as an author. Again, the same thing, accountability. It can give you wrong information, and sometimes it churns out things that do not make sense. Elsevier clearly says that, for AI tools can be used to improve the readability and language of the research article, but they cannot replace the key tasks that should ideally be done by the author themselves, such as interpreting the data or drawing scientific conclusion. And transparency is very important. So they are recommending that, yes, we all use artificial intelligence tools in one form or the other. But if you use an AI tool like ChatGPT to create content, or maybe sort of like revise your article to improve the quality of the language, grammar, syntax, you must declare how this AI was used in creating your manuscript. So the editor-in-chief of eLife, Ezian, said, I think the better question is not whether to allow it, but how to manage the fact that it is being used. Because we need to understand, you cannot stop this revolution. It is here to stay, just like internet or mobile phone or television. Initial days, many people were against all these things. But these AI tools and AI is part and parcel of our lives. It's going to evolve. The most important thing for now, at least, is for author to be very upfront. That is, they should be very sort of like transparent about its use and to describe how it was used. And for us to be clear that in using the tool, they are taking responsibility for its output. So again, ideally, AI tools cannot be listed as co-authors. The other is that someone mentioned over-reliance on AI, that is creativity. So again, my perspective on this is that, some people say the end justifies the mean. If you get an article within a couple of minutes by using Chat GPT or some other AI software, what's the big deal? You are getting an article. Don't make a fuss about it. I say no. The end does not justify the mean. The means are also very, very important. As they say, focus on the journey, not on the destination. Joy is found not in finishing an activity, but in doing it. All of us who have actually written an article or maybe done some research or a thesis, please go back. That process of going through the whole journey before we reached our destination of publishing, that was fantastic. It taught us so much, both in professional and personal terms. If we take a shortcut, if we just simply cut off everything and we just go to a software and do some sort of like cut corners and create a manuscript, we might be able to fool some people sometime, but we will not be able to develop the skills that are needed to survive in the academic world. We need to understand that. Why? Because writing is not generating content. We need to understand that. Writing is not simply producing 3,000 words in less than 3 minutes. The process of writing, the scientific writing, actually, like, it has three very important components. The first is reading. You have to read a lot of articles in different formats. And then you not only read the articles, you have to critically analyze. This is what human beings have been doing for the last so many thousands of years. In different forms, they used to read things which were written on the barks of the trees and maybe on leather. And then the printing press came in. So we read, and reading actually enlightens our own mind. Then we use that mind to critically analyze what ideas it can generate, how I'm going to write, what I'm going to quote and cite. And then comes the process of writing. The process of writing is an intellectual pursuit. If, as someone says that laziness can actually give way to a process in which, because I'm from rehab medicine and my background is disability management, we often use a word, if you don't use it, you lose it. So just imagine a young researcher who is born in the times of Chat GPT and other AI software, and all he or she knows is how to cut corners and use these AI software to generate text, to write essays, to write some articles. Please remember, you might be able to write a good article that is going to get you good grades, but you are not ever going to develop the skills that are needed for you to survive in the academic world. Because one day you are going to get exposed. People are going to ask you a question about that article. And since you don't have any background, you don't have any background knowledge, you never spend times and hours in literature searching, reading, collating, summarizing, and writing with your own hands, you will not be able to answer that. And please remember, only good readers are good writers. So please do not over-rely on these kind of things. Then technical challenges. Many a times, people who are very happy to use Chat GPT, you need to understand many a times Chat GPT and other AI software are behind a paywall. So the free version does not give you full functionality. And sometimes the full version will cost you a lot of money. And since I'm based in a developing country, and I know how it works in most of the Asian and African countries, we do not get the resources that we would like to have. Nobody supports us, neither our governments, neither our organizations or our supervisors. So where I'm going to get that kind of money in order to get access to a good AI tool? So people with access to money and resources, finances, are going to get help from this kind of thing, and we will be technically challenged. This actually happens. And another issue is bias and discrimination. Please remember, these large language models are based on the data and the text that is being fed to them. And large amount of this data actually has a lot of bias and discrimination, both in academic and non-academic words all around the globe, against certain people, certain religions, certain countries, and certain stereotypes. And this same bias comes in AI-based writing if you rely too much on AI and you don't use your minds. So don't do that. And the last but not the least, if still someone is sort of thinking of using Chat GPT or other AI-based software as the primary tool of writing, a word of caution for all of you. AI-generated text can be detected. Yeah. So a couple of examples. The same organization, OpenAI, which recently launched ChatGPT for open use all around the globe, has actually launched another AI classifier for indicating AI written text. Yes, it is not in the full form. It is not in the full functionality, but they are working on that. And soon, uh, journals, organizations, and maybe universities are going to employ these tools to detect AI generated text. Then GPT-0 is again a very user-friendly and helpful tool to confirm that whether this text was generated by a human being or by a sort of a software. There are more than 20 options available out there which can detect the plagiarism as well as AI generated content. So please don't get too excited. Never ever sort of lose insight and always follow an ethical model of conducting and publishing and writing research. Because if you do things like these, not only you will lose these kind of skills, one day you are going to get caught and that is going to bring you a lot of embarrassment. So don't do that. So the summary of this free time is that AI has been a part of scholarly writing for a long time. I gave you a history extending back to 70 years. And there are a variety of options available to researcher, both low-end options and high-end options, which are subscription-based. You need to understand that AI is here to stay and it will evolve. Whatever you like it or you dislike it, you love it, you hate it. AI is not going anywhere. It's going to evolve and it's going to become more integrated in our personal, professional, and academic lives. So what you need, I need to do, probably we need to integrate AI in our scholarly writing, but in an ethical manner, in a transparent manner, which we can disclose to anyone without any issues, and appropriate use. And by using this in an appropriate manner, we can enhance the research productivity and the quality of the work that we produce. So there are only one take-home message from my side. Number one is that researcher must have transparency in method and integrity and truth from author. This is, after all, the foundation that science relies on to advance. So probably the use of AI has also highlighted the fact that many of us are too much focused on the research methodology, which is absolutely fine. How to write, how should we collect data, the data analysis and stuff like that. But you also need to focus on the ethical aspect as well. And the use of AI has told you, unless the person is ethical person, he's a transparent person, he or she will never disclose that they have used AI to generate this kind of text. And you need to remember, change is inevitable, growth is optional. ChatGPT and other AI-based softwares are here to stay. It all depends on you, whether you are ready for the revolution or not. Are you going to integrate these tools in your scholarly writing in an ethical and transparent manner in order to increase your research productivity? And please remember, it does not matter how many resources you have. If you don't know how to use them, it will never be enough. There are literally hundreds of AI-based softwares, tools, online websites that are available free of cost, which are ethical, transparent to use, and they can increase your research productivity, literature search techniques, literature mapping, referencing styles, improve the quality, language, grammar, syntax of your manuscript, help you choose appropriate journals. All of them are available free of cost. And there are good researchers out there, mostly from developing countries like myself, who are ethically using those in order to enhance their research productivity. You should also be using them as well. So if you have any further questions, comments, so please write them in the chat box or raise your hand. We still have 5 minutes to go. And you can email me for a copy of the presentation. So I thank you very much for your active participation. So if you have any ending notes, comments, please let me know. Oh, just give me a second. No, oops, just give me a second. So anyone who would like to say some last few words or some share some perspectives? And I mean, this was just sort of like a small flavor, I would rather say. So please go online and explore this. The world is moving at a very fast pace, and people, especially like based in developing countries, please remember internet is a great equalizer. Oh yeah. So yeah, Osman, please go ahead. Osman, please go ahead, please. We cannot hear you. Okay, Dr. Mrs. Salisu, can you say something?
Yes, I absolutely delighted. This has been mind-blowing for me. It's awesome, you know. I wanted this kind of conversation when I was okay, there can be a co-author, and somebody will say no, and this is why, and it gets you more advanced in learning, in writing, in reading, because we want to know what is happening around the world. And like you have said, AI is here. We just need to apply the creativity, and that's what makes us the superhuman being. You know, people actually created that AI. It's not just dropped from heaven. And here we are, our creativity keeps going on. And that's why we have to key in all the AI tools that you have explained. So we need to go out there to start exploring as literally as the Microsoft, you know, we have been on that exploring it. And I mean, it's been awesome. Thank you so much. And I urge everyone to go there. And I mean, harness the scholarly writing, and we turn out papers in great mode. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your kind words. Asa, so over to you, please.
Yes, thank you so much, Farooq, for a very interesting presentation. I myself had a lot of fun listening to you and listening to the conversation that was going on here. And I'd like to request everybody to turn on their camera so that we can take a picture of us together. And we'll be posting that on our social media. And yes, like the message there sent by Tabitha, please feel free to join us. And in the various social media channels, we are very active on different social media, and we post different opportunities. And for your information, we will be soon having a very grand webinar on the roles of AI in scholarly writing. And please join us then too. We'll be posting the details very soon. So let's take a picture. Shall we? Okay, we are waiting for you to turn on your camera. If you are...
Thank you, everyone. Please, open up your cameras. Thank you very much.
Okay, so please, everyone, please smile. Or some crazy poses. Anything is fine. So I've taken the picture. I'd like to thank you once again for joining, and keep connected with us. We share opportunities, we try to extend your network, and we try to support scholars from low and middle income countries and all over the world. So please stay connected with us. And Dr. Farooq, thank you so much for hosting the program. It was really informative. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all. Thank you. Take care. Bye. Have a great day.
See you in our webinar. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.